With it right here with who I started with, be something like a Spartan. It's going hard regardless. I'm from the 826 plus 5. Mo bitches, H-Ray, Central Coast, mom and suicide. Always arsonist. I step in the booth and gas, I gotta keep it lit. Engineer all my music, I work hard at this.
That's right, and we're back. We're back on Chicano Tube. Beautiful Linda Raza. Do me a favor, man. Hit that like button. I appreciate you guys. You guys are coming in. If you're listening live or you're listening on the replay, hey, it's Sunday. What a beautiful weekend. The second quarter of the year is already into effect. And we got a couple of things that we're going to talk about right now, man. It's Sunday night. Do me a favor, Raza. Hit that like button, man. It's free. It don't cost a thing. Just hit that like button. Three things we're going to talk about. For one, we're going to talk about Agent Adam. Agent Adam, who just posted something not too long ago, and it's like, ooh, this one right here, Adam, you're not gonna have the people behind you. I'll tell you that. Not on this one right here. Oh no, no, not this one. We're gonna talk about that right now. And then we're gonna talk about Dona Carlota. She absolutely went viral, and that's the beautiful thing about the internet now is we can bring attention to what we want to bring attention to in a flash. It goes from here to hundreds and hundreds of countries all around the world. Hey, we're all connected. It's called the World Wide Web. Another thing that came across my feed is Virginia track star. I want to point out a couple things that what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. But nowadays they're trying to make wrong right. Trying to make wrong right. All right. Hit that bitchy like button, gente. That's right. I appreciate you guys are already coming in the comment section. It's Sunday night, man. I appreciate you guys, man. Hit that pinchy like button. Let's go. Let's go. Maybe you know what? Maybe I'll even do it open live. How about that? Maybe I'll even drop the link. Let me see. If I can remember how to do that, invite, and then go to comments. I remember. I'll even do that just in case anyone wants to come on in. That's right. LA County's in the casa. That's right, my boy. I appreciate you, cabron. That's right. That's right, cabron. So, anyways, gente, I appreciate you guys for tuning in on Sunday night. Let's go ahead and get into it. Agent Adam. This is the beef. This is the bronca that you don't want to pick. See, this is the thing. You could have a podcast and do numbers, call yourself the coolest podcast in the world. I'm not saying it's not. One thing it is definitely tied to RICO indictments. I mean, that's an absolute fact. Now it's undeniable. Okay. So Adam went ahead and he posted something just a couple hours ago, and he's trying to throw shade at Lucky, right? And this is not trying to start any kind of beefs, but this is what I'm telling you who the people are going to rally behind when it comes to this situation. Unbiasedly, not looking at him, not looking at him, totally 100% unbiasedly. Again, here, this is the Chicano perspective. This is how we see things, okay? And so Adam went ahead and he said, oh, you want to say that, but you ain't got no proof. And if you did, if you showed it, it would make you look ridiculous. Some kind of mamada to that extent. And I went ahead and I dropped a comment, and this is by way of Hot Wheeler. So shout out to Hot Wheeler Media. Give me a second, Ante. This is by way of Hot Wheeler Media, right? They went ahead and compiled, put the post together, whatever you want to call it, and it's the internet. At the end of the day, you can't complain when you're a podcaster, influencer, you're out on the internet, right? So if you're going to be a public person, get ready for public scrutiny, right? But when I saw this post, I said there is absolutely no way the raza, the brown people, the gente from California are going to rally behind Adam. There's no way. I don't care if you call yourself the coolest podcast in the world. Here's the thing. You could say, well, you don't have no evidence, and if you posted it, you look like a clown. You could say that. You can act cool on the internet. You can have the internet be on your side, um, and to whatever that value is to you. But I'll tell you what Lucky has on his inside, and that's just the people. Because again, and a lot of podcasts have beef with each other, and you know, I was mentioning that over to American Cholo the other night, right? Me and American Cholo, I called into American Cholo's show. I think it was on Thursday night. And I mentioned that because I made my word was to come into the new year and say, hey, I'm not in it no more. When it comes to brown people, we need to unite. We're going to practice what we preach and just unite. It's time to be the bigger person. Well, I didn't start it. You don't have to start shit. You got to be the bigger person and say, we got to unite. We got to move in the same direction. So I told him on his live, I told AC, I said, look at the podcast the most of the raza taps into. And raza, I'm just talking about brown gente in this regard, right? Lucky is one of them. Absolutely, Lucky is one of them. And the reason people like Lucky's podcast, again, a lot of people don't get along. To me, that's all internet pedo. Until someone could be man enough, pick up the phone and make a phone call, then it's over. It's over as quick as it started, no matter what the damage. Okay, because this is not North and South and 60 years of bloodshed, and this is not that fucking cumbersome to get over. You pick up the phone, you make a phone call, it's done. But anyways, I'm digressing, cabrones. Let me get back to it. Well, Lucky, well, the people, the reason, one of the reasons Lucky got a lot of people behind him is because he's authentic, man. He's always constantly trying to be the best version of him, but he's authentic. That's just one more absolutely outstanding street. I guess if he wants to put himself in that category, street, because I think that's what the billboard said in LA, right? The street podcast. I think absolutely he's got the calles behind him. Okay. Crashing out and drinking and all that other stuff. Well, shit, what's new with that? You guys, the internet wants to make that seem to be some kind of problem. And then, of course, the people that have an agenda against you, okay, they'll use anything to twist it up and throw it in your face. And you're crashing. You should do this. And no matter what, he's authentic. And if it ever came down to people having to choose between Agent Adam and Lucky from Hoodstocks, I tell you what, right now on Chicano Tube, I tell you what, the people will rally behind Lucky. So just forget about that. Agent Adam. Well, if they can't provide no evidence, then then no, don't say. Oh, you've got Rico Pinchy indictments happening with evidence docketed and documented from your show because your show asks interrogation style questions. Oh man, see, one thing is you get on a show, gente, and this is how it's always been. I haven't done too many interviews, right? We haven't got our 15 minutes yet, but just hold on. We gotta be in position before we get to 15 minutes. Because if we don't do that right, then we get our 15 minutes, and then later on we're looking for another 15 minutes because we weren't ready to capitalize on it, right? But when I do a show, I want to go over there thinking, they got good intentions for me to be on that show, and that's going to let me be myself. But when you go over there to Agent Adams podcast, you have to realize that whole place has bugs on it, man. That place is absolutely wired. That thing has more wires in it than a pinchy PG&E panel. That thing has more wire. Come on, man. Well, you don't have no evidence. Are you kidding me? Ain't no one getting Rico indicted because of Hoodstock's content. But we can't say that about you. Again, I think this is just something that Adam, you can act all bad on the internet, Adam, and say what you want to say, Adam. But that stuff that you said right there, You wouldn't say it in Lucky's face, man. You're not gonna say that in Lucky's face. Again, this is not to call out podcasters or anything like that, but that came across my feed, and people have to know now. Look out, gente. Look how they keep talking on that podcast. They're all interrogation style questions. Oh man, that's crazy. And I understand, okay, when we get our 15 minutes, okay, we're gonna have to go into some of the grimy. We are, you know what I mean? It's like the grimy is what they're gonna want to clip up, something that's unreleased, something that people haven't heard, and you gotta pull out the grimy. Okay, okay. And that's just for the clips or whatever, but for the most part, you don't want to go on a podcast and all of a sudden it feels like you're Kane and Menace to Society. And that, well, you walked in the liquor store at 9:30, right? 9:30, right? You bought that beer at 10:30, right? Yeah. Yeah, 10:30. 10:30. Ah, see, I got you. I got you right there. You know I'm fucked up, right? I'm just repeating exactly what the Chotas told Kane and Menace Society. Gente, what a trip, man. I'm just repeating exactly what he told them, and that's what happens. That's right, Daniel Barry. I appreciate you, cabron. That's right. Everlasting Base. That's right. Everlasting Base. What did you think of Dona Carlota way? Dona Carlota way. What do you think about? Let's transition. Okay. So Adam with and Lucky. Lucky's gonna have the people rally behind him quickly because again, there ain't no indictments getting tied over there. But the questioning over here is crazy, man. You'd have to go over there just knowing, okay, like X4. Remember with that little clip that's circulating right now on social media? X4 sitting right there, right? Hold on, gente. X4 sitting right there, right? And and then Adam leans back in his chair and he likes like putting the little earbud microphones. Those are kind of cool too. Those are kind of cool, but I don't like those kind of mics. I like being mic'd up better. And so he asked him, "Hey, what about that little thing that happened? Blah 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 blah. That had to do with the pew pew. That had to do with the pew 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 pew." And X4 sitting right there. He put, gente, he crosses his arms, he leans back, and it's exactly what you do in a pinche interrogation, or no? I don't know. That's crazy, man. That's crazy, man. That's how you do it. That's crazy. Something else came across my feed, man. Let's talk about there was an event inside LA. What was it? So it was a rap event. Let's just say that. It was a rap event. It happened last night. It just came off on social media, and you got some people that ended up in cuffs. Those are the places I don't want to be, gente. I'm just gonna keep this a buck. I hope everyone went home safe last night. Shit, I mean, how old are we that we're ending up in cuffs, man? Don't invite me to that. If you go around that shit, all due respect, let's just keep it on the internet. That's as far as it's gonna go because I go everywhere with my familia and I can't have that shit. I'm not trying to act like a teenager. I'm not saying everyone that did that, but it gets a little bit wild, man. It gets a little bit wild. So that ain't where I'm trying to be anymore. Not at this age. Not at this age. But I guess they had Icon too, was one of them. Well, just one of them. And he was in cuffs. And I guess one of them said that they had to put two sets of cuffs because he was that wide. Cabron. I thought he was doing work. Wasn't he doing workout videos? Man, I don't follow. I don't see his videos. That's why I don't know. I'm gonna start following though. Right now, as soon as I get off this live. I thought he was doing workout videos. Or was that just on IG? That's probably just IG content, man. That's right. Gabriel Verduzco says, I have a question. Well, all day long. It's Sunday. It's the Sunday edition. We should be playing some oldies, cabrón. Give them. Salabos in la casa was good. That's right, Calidad. Are you from right here, bro? My bad. I got a bad memory, cabrón. Serio, man. One thing I don't forget is faces, though. Is faces. So when I run into anyone, just like we lock on, and I don't forget faces, but names, my bad. Are you from right here? Okay, on the way. The Salabos in the casa. That's right, man. The farm workers are gonna start coming back, bro, in about unas otras 2, 3 semanas, man. Another 2 or 3 months. All right, let's get back. Let's get back. Let's talk about Dona Carlota. Let's trip on this one. Dona Carlota went absolutely viral. Dona Carlota, she basically, let me just recap it real quick for some people that don't know what's going on. Okay, Dona Carlota already has her own narco corrido, man. No, it's not narco. It's just a corrido. The president's trying to stop that. She's saying, we don't want to push the narco culture no more. She has to say that, gente, but you already know that. Come on. She's getting a check. You know what I mean? She's getting a check every month. Anyways, Doña Carlota called the police. There were squatters in her house. Now, the laws in Mexico, they're different. It's not the laws in the United States. But Mexico tries to emulate a lot of the stuff, like the Constitution and certain other things of the United States. So they'll have sometimes laws that are equally that. So she called the police, went to go visit. This is just what I would consider a rental property. She goes to a rental property and she has un hijo and at least another person. And she was identified as a female, I think. Sakura's in the casa. That's right. That's in mine. That's right, my boy. Sakura's been in the casa, man. All right, let's go back to Doña Carlota. So she has squatters in Mexico at a rental property, bro. She did what was the right thing at first, which was she called the municipales way. The municipales is pues, los policías, okay, another or police, cops, whatever you want to say in English. And when they came, who knows what the conversation was, but it sounds like they told her we can't do nothing because then they left. And when she came back, wait, they came back with blowers. And there's at least two on camera from like an upper balcony uh person recording. And again, so I don't know, the whole story. Cholo Trucker was the one to say, no, 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 we can't be tripping on, we got to understand this truth versus belief. The internet will confuse you to make you think something is wrong is right. We're going to get to the next story. I want to talk about the Virginia track star. This Virginia track star athlete. And it seems like the internet, I mean, everyone's free to do what they want, but it seems like they're trying to make everything wrong to seem right. Y todos más como pendejos because they just have half a brain cell will fucking just bah, bah, and just walk and follow like sheep. Blindfold zombie sheep. Oh, okay, gotcha, man. You don't want to be a blindfold zombie sheep. Oh man. Okay, so we'll get to the track star. Let's talk about Doña Carlota. She went viral, and if she ends up doing a L in Mexico, I would feel bad, man, because she's already up in age, man. I posted the photo. All of those were with respect, gente. You know me, I'm not trying to clown or anything like that. If like the corrido and all that stuff, people are gonna take it how they're gonna take it, but it's the internet. All we're doing is resharing stuff, anyways. You know what I mean? So she's in custody, and apparently she let off where there was at least one body that dropped, and I think they're attributing the other body to the other one. This is just from the reports You got to tap in like either to TikTok or IG, but you got to search other hashtags that are more like the ones that are in Mexico, cabrones. And that's only if you care, you know what I mean, to know about the news straight from pues the motherland, cabrón. Sacras in the casa, that's right, my boy. Daniel Gonzalez, that's right, my boy. Says lions, tigers, and bears. Look at that. Gnarly Vato just stepped in the building. That's right. It's Sunday, cabron. We're chopping it up. So we just got off Agent Adam. Just gonna have to go watch the replay to see what we say about Agent Adam. Because if you want to say anything against someone's podcast who's brown, come on. You know, the brown people are gonna be like, Chale, Adam. Chale. The Rico acts, those are connected to you. They're not connected to any other podcast. Our gente no somos pendejos, way. When we start seeing that shit, you know, if you go okay, if you go over there, obviously it raises your stock, right? It puts you in front of un chingo de ojos. You'd be lying through your teeth saying, "Oh, I don't want to go over there because you'll hit that couch and your numbers will go up. At least it'll be a big spike, right?" But now you have to understand that place is wired up. Every single lamp has it, every light bulb inside, every vent. That place is wired up, man. Well, now I heard it's for sale. That's a trip. Hold on, let me grab a chair. Even better. Big L's in the casa. That's right. He got the zapata right there. That's right, cabron. I was just telling the wifey this, cabron. Matter of fact, it was just today, pinchy Big Al. I was telling her about the last cover up. I'm gonna do the last cover up. That one's gonna pretty much go all the way from the chest, and it's gonna go to the arms. It's gonna connect to the sleeves that are at least a good 1/3 above the elbow already. So I was just telling her about that. So we can get all that stuff out of the way, and then we start working out, cabron. I think this summer I'm gonna start doing some workout, and on that, 100% is gonna be all health. I was gonna be all diet right there. I'm gonna like that live right there. That's gonna be a good one. I'm gonna show you guys some routines. Te digo. But let me read the comment, cabron. My bad. Saludos from the big bad. That's right. Santa Cruz 831 in the casa. That's right. My boy. Hey, shout out to Santa Cruz, the 831. Cabron. You heard the theme song, right? Estilo Delfino just stepped in the building on Sunday night, watching the sunset. I'm right here looking at this shit, gente. Like, pues, ¿qué más quiero, man? Let me see. Let me show that. Yeah. ¿Qué más quiero, man? But that's just my view, you know what I mean? Okay, let's get back to Doña Carlota. It depends how the Mexican government's gonna see that, man. The Mexican government is gonna try her. See, it's not like the US. Over there, you could actually already start doing time before you get sentenced. That's a different inside the Mexican justice system. It's not like the American justice system. So she'll get credit no matter for what. But Doña Carlota, I don't think she's gonna get bail because there's bodies that were taken, and I think she's gonna stay in custody. As far as the internet goes, right now would be the time to try to help her with anything because it's hot before it fizzles out, and it's still Sunday. We still got a couple hours. Mm. To if there was any kind of legal help or whatever they're going to do for her or for the family. So they got her y luego también the other person. Both of them looked like they had straight, what is it called? Revolvers, like 6 shooters. She squeezed off that whole thing and caught a body, man. And someone said, one of the comments, I like one of the comments that said this. It goes, Dona Carlota has to show some, on how to deal with these lames. It just depends. It's in the eye of the beholder, way. It's in the eye of the beholder. Remember, we're talking about Cain Velasquez, and I told you guys he won. Cain Velasquez won the scene 1 day behind bars in Texas, man. In Texas, in the state of Texas, not 1 day. It's just a little bit different, but it is what it is, right? But going back to Doña Carlota, a lot of people were relating because they're like, look at her, man. She looks like an abuelita. Someone said she looks like everyone's abuelita, man. Rally behind her. I mean, and even over the internet advocates in the United States, or los que están acá, or even ones that travel. Actually, I'm tapped in with a couple of them. They travel. They go from Mexico to the United States. We have different viewpoints. It's interesting when we talk about it, you know, on how we see things, and again, talking respectfully. Respectfully, that's how we have to talk. But anyways, I don't hear anyone trying to rally or pull out more. What is it called? Evidence. Pull out more footage. Want to see the reports from de todos. Put the whole case out there. Let the people see the whole case. Why not? We're already invested in shit. Doña Carlota, that's our abuelita. You know what I mean? She's like a Mexican Miss Tweety Bird. That's our abuelita and shit. All right, let's move on. Now, this Virginia track star. Trip out on this, right? We were just talking about the other night in Texas. This happened in the state of Texas, right? There was a track meet, and in the track meets where they sit down, they have different areas, right? O sea, your high school has a whole pinchy canopy, and then there's another canopy and another. They're just full of canopies, right? And this dude walked up, and he's there, and they're like, "Dude, what are you doing? Like, this is not your school. Your what? I don't know what they told him, right? I don't know. I don't know what he told him, right? Next thing you know, there's a piece getting thrown and goes right through the chest. Boom. I mean, if that doesn't let you know that's the devil, I mean, that's the devil himself, man. When you see a pinchy dagger going someone's chest, that's el. I mean, come on, that's el diablo, cabrones. Let's keep that a buck, man. That's el pinchy diablo, right? However you want to slice it and dice it, that's the diablo way. Um, so it goes to the internet, right? And the internet is now painting the picture of make something that is wrong right. Now let's talk about the Virginia track star, right? Okay, so it's a track meet again. Boom, they're hitting. I don't know what they're hitting. It sounds like a baton race, so a 440. They're hitting a 440 around the track meet. Okay, this pinchy track athlete. Okay, this muchacha, she was respectfully, she's a female. She gets the baton, and as she's on the outside lane, I could be wrong. I should load up the clip. My bad. She's on the outside lane. Okay. I'm sorry, the inside lane, which is the shortest, right? The inside lane, right? And the one on the right side of her, I think she's on the second lane. That's the girl as they're running the 440 and they get the baton. She gets the baton y le da un madrazo right behind her head as she's running by her. ¡Sas! A la chingada. That sounds like a Chingo Bling video, huh? Like a Chingo Bling snippet sample. Y le da ¡Sas! No, I'm seriously, okay? So that gets analyzed, right? that gets analyzed. And obviously, I mean, and I'm talking about the video, right? The video that's on the internet, everyone gets to see. That video gets looked at, right? And it shows exactly what it was, no matter what the before, the after story, what was going on. Maybe they were dating the same boyfriend. See, this is where what people do is when the obvious thing that's wrong gets done, all of a sudden people want to start hearing the story. Well, yeah, let's get the story because we should know the full story, the full complete story from everyone involved, all parties. Okay, then let's judge it that way, right? With the best all info. But with this right here, if they're running, all I know is that they're all trying to win. They all got the pinchy baton in their hands, right? And this one grabs, and it looks like a pretty big baton, man. It looks like a 2-footer. A 2-footer. I hope it's not made out of some pinchy pipa that's like piano wood, like they make out of nightstick. I hope it's not something hard like that, because si le pegó sas, mona. Sas. And I don't think she collapsed, but for sure la turbó. La turbo means she's running full speed, but la turbo, like hardcore. La turbo, you know what I mean, right? And after, as everyone's trying to, understand what took place and la plática, see, this is what people do, right? And it happened to me not too many months ago. It happened to me. It happened to me. When people start thinking, oh, the internet's going to find out about this, they're going to start making their moves. They're going to start making their little moves because I get it. It's called damage control, but it makes you look weak. It's kind of like a little bit of insecurity, right? Like you're not being sure of yourself. Like, the internet's going to say what they're going to say, man. How much energy you want to give it, that's up to you. But anyways, JB Booster says, I'm tired of not winning FDT. That's right, cabrón. That's right. Do what you do, cabrón. But then we got Raider Tommy sending prayers the other day. Raider Tommy, when I seen that come across my thread, we did the prayer right there on that live, cabrón. We already broke that right there, man. We had faith for you, cabrón, and we're like, no, no, no. We came against that and canceled that, Raider Tommy. You got prayer warriors watching out for you, cabrón. I'm one of them. I appreciate you though, cabrón. Gracias, Raider Tommy. All right. What are you talking about? Oh, le dio un garrotazo. ¡Sas! And they made a GoFundMe and already got like over $100,000 for the legal defense of una mona that the video shows her giving the other girl the chingazo, a Virginia track star. So what the pinchy news in the internet is showing, why are we okay with the wrong being a right? That's what I we've been talking about this almost since the New Year's, huh? When wrongs in some people's eyes look right. That's a trip, man. Los pinche gente descarada, man. No tienen gracia, man. You know what I mean? No shame, and I can go on and on to that, but this is when they say, "Oh well, poor girl." Now she does a press conference. The girl does a press conference, gente. The one que le dio el chingazo behind her head with a baton, a track baton. Ah, they did a press conference, gente. She's crying the whole time. And the sympathy card is being played. Imagine, man. Imagine you were the parents on that council or participated in that sport. However you have to do, right? Maybe you have to pay, give a little donation, or pay season fees, to compete, whatever. You'd want to talk about this like a little city council and see what's all this all about. And that's what they'll do. They'll get to the podium, gente, and they'll start throwing mud at each other. Because one will start pointing out the obvious, which is what happened, and the other is gonna want to play the sympathy card. Like, well, you don't know how hard we have it, or I don't know what they're gonna say, but it's like you gave the chick a garrotazo behind her head. Is it about a boyfriend or what? That's a trip, man. But that she gets $100,000, people will donate, I guess. I mean, to what they want is their prerogative. I mean, that's right. I appreciate you, man. Hit that like button. You're listening live. You're listening on the replay, Hunter. Well, let's go about maybe another 15 minutes as the sun sets. I at least want to see the whole sunset go all the way down. Now, my little lemon tree, I got lemons, tengo aguacates, tengo uvas verdes. I got green grapes también, and all of them just budded. Like just brotaron apenas for the first time. So this is that relaxation time right now. And so we talked about Agent Adam and hood stocks. That's not a good look. Um, Come on, Adam. You would say something on the internet, but not to someone's face like that. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's wrong, and this and this and this and that. That energy level would be like 5%. The energy level would be like on 5% of what the meme sounds. But you can't tell the tone of a meme. You know what I mean? Someone posts a meme, you don't know if they're sarcastic, they're maybe even an indirecta. The way the Mexicanos say, me está tirando una indirecta, which I think is kind of cowardly. I think it's cowardly. If you're gonna go all in, you might as well go all in, man. And why hold back and fuck it, even do a thumbnail about it and get it right. If you're gonna do it right. O sea, just like Chente would say in his corridos, he goes, no temo nada, menos que me hablen frente a frente. That's it. He said, that's all I wanted was a fair fade, a direct talk face to face. Like the dude on Rush Hour said, he said, fight me like a man. Fight me like a man. He said that. Fight me like a man, cabrones. Niner, let's go. Come here. He would say, fight me like a man. Hablando de derecho frente a frente. Absolutely, man. It seems like it is getting more and more away from that, bro. Like it's getting watered down way. It's like imagine you had some fire Kool-Aid and the first batch or lemonade, whatever it is, with fresh lemon slices, but they got to add sugar, right? Real sugar, not no fake sugar, real pure sugar. The more water they add in it, it gets watered down, watered down, watered down. And now it's not even that, bro. It's like, I seen, and I'm not trying to like Cholo Trucker says, it's not shit on the youngsters, or no one's trying to shit on the youngsters, but like when that kid got jumped on in the classroom, bro. The kid got jumped on in the classroom. He was a special ed kid, bro. And someone will record a video, and while the other dude fires on him, and you just hear the kid cry because he never imagined that day he was gonna get fired on like that. Okay, and it seemed like the dude did it for the video, bro. I would say these little youngsters like that will be perfect. They were perfect candidates for YA. But again, they voted against it. Legislation won, and they closed that down, just like they closed down death row. And actually, they want to make death row. They want to make death row like a little medical center. That's what I heard. The one in San Quentin Little Medical Center. Man, that's old, man. That thing is old, man. Absolutely old, man. But at least what I show Estilo Delfino is that I still have palabra, bro. I still have a handshake. And that's why even the Bible says it, bro. It says, hey, don't be quick to make an oath, because when you make an oath, the Lord will require it from you. A lot of people have never directly made an oath to the Lord, like, hey, Lord, boom and boom. That's an oath, and you'll know when it is, because you shouldn't forget, because the Bible says the Lord don't forget. It's the same thing as giving palabra, bro. That's where that whole concept comes from, bro. A lot of things come from the Bible right away. That we're leveling up. We're coming out this pinche año with the best version, man. I'm gonna have to start doing some workout video, man. Some workout video. Let's see what we title those workout videos or little series. Because there we're just gonna talk about all health. Que cabrón, ven pa' acá. Ven pa' acá, güey. Okay, then. Jenny Selby's in the casa, probably doing the same thing I'm doing, watching the sunset, amiga. Look at the sunset, amiga. This is why our taxes are so high. No, just kidding, amiga. I appreciate you. Jenny La Chicana is in the building, man. She's been a supporter of the genre in general, right? Other channels, different channels. That's good that everyone has their own sazon, flavors. I was just saying this, amiga Jenny, that I said after January 1st that I was done with the broncas, right? And the beefs and going after brown people. And even though there's been people with controversies coming out, like that I couldn't never see happening, but the year started off like that. I maintain palabra todavía, palabra. And the other night when I called into the American Cholo podcast, I mentioned the same things. I kept my words short, got straight to it. We had a conversation on the phone, and guess what happened? The brown people won. The brown people won right after that conversation. Hey, have a buen fin de semana. I'm out. Bing. All respect. This is the year 2025. It's also a year of prosperity. It's also a year of abundance, man. I'm claiming all these projects finally to be completed. That way we can build a 3.0 studio. I don't think yes. Jenny Selby's in the casa. That's right, man. JFTB. JFTB. I appreciate you, amiga. Rutina too. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, cabron. You know what I mean? I start seeing cabron like Ryder G and other people say doing workout videos. And I think we never really showed that. I told the beautiful, smoking, sexy, hot wife, the hottest chicana on the planet. I told her, I said, we don't really talk about what we eat and the diets and how we've been doing this for like a dime over 10 years. And now it's just being popular because of social media. Oh, keto diet. Oh, the carnivore diet. Or like we do a hybrid mixture of both. Well, let's do that with the rutinas. Why not? You know what I mean? But we're not gonna do nothing like for our egos, okay, gente? That means trying to stack 6 plates on each side and the bars bending. We're not gonna hurt ourselves for our egos because we're doing it live. Because I could actually use just 215, 220 pound weights and get this crazy burning workout that'll just shock my body. It'll take me a whole week to recover. The people that say, "Oh, I've been doing burpees for 400 days." Okay, a little bit later. Ahorita vamos, güey. Okay, güey, pues ponte zapatos. The ones that say, "Oh, burpees for 600 days." I'm thinking that's not 600 days that need any recovery in the middle of it. It's, at some point it becomes pretty routine, right? That's the rutina. Just like my boy said right here, the rutina. That's the rutina. But really, if you want to grow and be strong, cabrones, we need to start lifting weights. We need to do isolated, no reps, not 1,000 this, 5,000 that. We need to start doing clean reps until muscle failure. And then we'll talk about everything else. Of course, it's going to be the same vibras, cabrones. I mean, you swear, it's not going to be with a Chicano estilo, you know. It's going to be with a Chicano estilo, but I think that's coming in the summer, man. It's beautiful, amiga. I'm telling you, right? You can't get it, especially if you're on the West Coast looking over at that sunset. Absolutely. I appreciate you for tapping in. Gracias, amiga. No, I'm looking over. I got a grape tree, avocado, y también tengo limones. And just, I need to get more palms because I got one palm, but I need to get more palms. But La Vista is what we pay, what we pay over here in California. Keep property, was what I say, amiga, is you want to keep property. Right now, it's actually so it's still a seller's market. That means there's low inventory, and since there's low inventory, the sellers have all the leverage. So there's a lot of equity. Some people have up to $400,000, $500,000 in equity, and we could already start moving the money and buying properties before it shifts because they're going to drop the interest rates now, and all of a sudden everyone's going to come in to buy at the same time. But now you're going to get about 50 different offers on a single property because everyone wants to buy. So the time to buy is still now. But in California, I go all the way to Santa Cruz. I go all the way to Santa Clara counties. And of course, here in Monterey County, I mean, like the back of my hand, I would say 60% of my clients are from the Alisal district, East Salinas, 93905, brown people. Y la mayoría de la vez, pues hablo en español. Y también la mayoría de la gente que vive acá son nomás de dos estados, de México, de Jalisco y de Michoacán. So since I'm a mixture of both, I'm telling you, the people are feeding me. I appreciate you, Miss Gangster Piggy. Gracias for tuning in. We'll just start fighting each other. Stop the hate. We have to stop fighting each other. Jenny Selby came back in here. Amiga. She came here shouting with, that's right, amiga. She says, we got to stop the hate. It is the hate. And look what most of the hate is, amiga. Internet stuff. That's how I boil it down. Internet stuff, right? No one really knows each other in person unless we met face to face, shook hands. If we met on the internet, it's like you got to take it with a grain of salt. I mean, we just know each other on the internet. But so when someone says, oh, this, that, West Coast Graffiti even said it at one point, and he was true when he said it. He goes, when people started getting into 5, 6 digit subscriber counts, people started grabbing their knives. Oh man, I heard West Coast Graffiti. I heard he's on TikTok still though. Someone said I need to go look him up to see if he's on TikTok. I still want to tap in with that cabron. You know what I mean? He'll make the pork fried rice, cabron, and tell the news. The news. The sunset is probably about maybe another 10 minutes. And then the sunset turns because the wife is a photographer, right? So I know these things too, gente. The sunset turns into what's called blue hour. Blue hour is when the complete sun is finally at the horizon of the hill down, and the whole thing turns blue until obviously it gets very dark blue because it gets dark and goes black, right? But it's called blue hour. It's another little effect where if you pull out your camera, it'll have a whole different color light on your face. We have to stop. Exactly. I'm done with that, amiga. No more trying to wrap me up in anything. My name is Bennett. I'm not in it. When it comes to brown people, we look dumb. We look stupid. We look dumb going after each other. And we should be getting together and making the power moves and then teaching the people how to make the same moves. Each one teach one. But with unity, with that huge net that we could reach, with people just seeing, hey, look at them, man. Shit. What the people want to see, amiga, is the people want to see all of us in one event that you thought couldn't get along, that you thought couldn't get it together, put the old shit to bed. Of course, I'm not talking about anything that does anything that what I'm talking about, women and children. Not that, okay? Because if I can't have you around my wife or my children, why the hell would I want to take a photo with you? You know what I mean? So hey, Bruno, stop. Appreciate you. Oh, yeah, that's what they want to see. That's what they want to see. Us get together and then that'll shock the world. Imagine that. IG post. Everyone's in the same place. Why? Because we put it past us. Give me a second. Here we go. That's right. David Sanchez in the Casa des, right, cabron? You see the SF? I got that on TikTok, cabron. I took one of my favorite photos right before a game. It was in the DJ studio. That's the first one we started out on. Way we got our first couple thousand. Just that's how I started out, man. Just right here, and the first couple thousand was from the 831. All the Alice South District, everyone right here that I know. But anyways, he says you calling the AC was solid. You guys have a lot in common, but maybe got caught up in this YouTube yarda. And now there's a CCOT yarda way. There's a CCOT one. That's we'll talk about that right now. But we're real dos to see the pendejadas. It's a great look for Raza. Saludos, Mikey. Absolutely. 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 Yeah. Bro, it was something that was on my heart. I saw him on the Si Se Puede podcast, bro. I saw him on the Si Se Puede podcast, and you already know that's my hermano Alfonso right there. And so I was, what was I doing? I was on a treadmill. I do 2 30-minute walks every day because, really my work is puro pinche computadora, so laptop work. I'm sitting most of the time, right? And so I was doing a 30-minute walk. Boom, I seen him on that one. And then just realizing, bro, like, look what he's saying, man. He's saying the positive. He's saying how to help people. He's saying how to stop the youngsters from falling in the ditches and pits. And so the YouTube Yarda thing, bro, it's shit. It's like our novela, bro, but it's for the guys in California. That's all it is. So it's not real. It's like fantasy football, and I'm not saying it's something dangerous or whatever. I'm just saying that's what it is. You know what I mean? And for anyone to take it any further than that, they need to be off the internet because that's too much for them to handle. Then, because this is shits and giggles, the YouTube Yarda. But now they call it. Now there's another one that barely got birthed like a couple weeks ago. It's called the Sikat Yarda, and they're saying that one is the most cutthroat, dangerous, treacherous YouTube Yarda because the Sikat Yarda they're saying is all generals and captains. Oh man, you see what I'm saying? People know when you start talking about YouTube yada, it sounds like a pendejada, bro. I mean, it really does. You know what I mean? And even the youngsters know that too, because trust me, the youngsters all have tablets, bro. They are, in juvenile hall, bro. They're watching YouTube. Wait. But yeah, you know what? It's also called grace, bro. Some people have grace to just forgive, and it's hard for some people, man. And I get it, man. You got people that their children's lives get taken away. Their children's lives get taken away. And I mean, I could imagine that pain. And then when I see them in court or whatever, asking for forgiveness and forgiving the other family and hugging them, and I'm like, bro, that's like it's supernatural. You know what I mean? Some people have a grace to be like, you know what? It's a pendejada, man. Am I thinking about the people first or me? If it's the people, let's move on. You know what I mean? About my house, that's right. Now it's worth almost okay, it tripled in value, wait. It tripled in value. So, you could always get at me, wait. You could always get at me if you needed anything, man. You just get at me, cabron. Because if you're talking about in the Central Valley, there's been a lot of people moving from where I'm at to the Central Valley because over there you can get it. You said for that price? Yeah, like for that price. Well, I've sold them even less. I've sold them under 200 with pools, nice, remodeled. Or let's just say updated. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say brand new remodeled, but updated. Updated with the pool. Definitely under 300, man. I love Cali, born and raised, pero si que mala gana in the governor race, I'm headed to 10. I will say this, man. I will say this. I talked to AC on the phone, and one thing we realize is if you know we live in California. We have roots in California. These are where our familias are. We're not going to run away from California. And we're definitely not going to back out of a fight that we see affecting our families. The policies is what is what's going to help the people at the end of the day. And I've been saying this since the beginning, man. Our politics have been aligned like over 90%. So it was never really that. It was other pedo, right? So again, unless someone makes the phone call, it's not going to happen, bro. It's not going to happen, man. It's called pride, man. Pride is crazy, bro. Ego. Shit, I dealt with the egomaniac not too long ago. I was like, shit, this is another level. This is like the fucking final boss, egomaniac. And Kemala, bro, it's like it's crazy how people will look at it, but it's and they realize it, right? When they get off the internet and they take a second think for in their heads, of course, who's the better of the two candidates? Of course. And what they're trying to do is just, get some people to ease back in their, like Homer Simpson, ease back in the bush. They're trying to get some people to ease back in the bush. Don't be too vocal, too loud. When I keep saying, when the F did you ever care about voting and politics? And all of a sudden, everyone's a humanitarian on the internet. Everyone's a meme activist. Just cálmase, gente. A meme activist. Puck Luck says deported. Damn, man, that's crazy, man. I did have something with Selena Gomez about the deportations, and just to show a little bit of, well, they have some transparency when it comes to who they're picking up, but they're also, it's like there's also collateral damage arrests, and those are the ones that the stories get real hot on the internet. But Selena Gomez, I shared this clip
I'm
right here.
so sorry. I wish I could do something, but I can't. I don't know what to do. I'll try everything, I promise.
That was kind of gacho, gente. That was kind of gacho because they just put her around the kinds of guys that you wouldn't want to be around. Okay. But I get it, right? You're going to be like, oh, it comes from one website, one political point of view. Well, yeah, it's a two-party system. And, if we get together with the people that are more aligned with our values, for one, and can get shit done, two, then we're really going to set some permanent policies up in the communities, not temporary ones, permanent ones. But I don't know. I think something's picking up, man. There might be a grassroots movement of us. You want to jump on board? It's the time to jump on board, man. We don't want to hear about how big the hurdle is. And if it takes an apology, if it takes just being a man and being like, you know what, fuck it, for the sake of we had something at some point and all internet got in between it. Let's move on.
How many stocks do I really have in stock? Ay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 5. Ay, devil is a lie. Here, 69 God. Ay, freaky ass niggas stay ass inside. Ay, roll their ass up like a Frank pack of Zion. Ay, city is back up. It's a must. We outside. Ay. They not like us. 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 They not like.
My bad, Hunter. That was just for Sunday night, right? That clip right there was just a Sunday night vibe, man. But I appreciate everyone that's tuning in right now. We talked about Agent Adam, Dona Carlota, that went absolutely viral. But I don't know what that support's gonna do because Mexico has laws, man. Is she gonna have to catch at least a L when she's that age and there's two bodies? Or like Cholo Trucker says, we don't know the story. What if they lunged at her? Um, what else? Agent Adam. Yeah, we know the whole podcast is wired up. That's the feds. It absolutely is. Look at the questions they're asking. We don't need, he says, show me some evidence. What do we need to see other than interrogation style questions? And then you have X4 sitting right there, like, he asked the question. But, anyways, and then the Virginia track star, gente, are we just going to make wrong things right now? And is that based on likes, views, shares, how much these GoFundMe's are getting money? No, 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 no. She le pegó, le dio un chingazo, ¡zas! And then wants to cry, and she's the victim. But yet she did a pinchy Nancy Kerrigan. Boom! A la rodilla. That's crazy. And she's the victim? Oh man. Make common sense rain again. Come on, cabrones. Last common sense of the night, you guys. So on stage. Bigfoot 831, a blast from the 90s. That's right, cabron. But people don't remember this, bro. If you were really living that 90s experience, then every time way I was going to Wellington Smith, all I remember on the radio, bro, was R&B, and all I remember on the streets was house music, bro. House music. So let me go back and get into the DJ booth, cabrón, and start dropping a house mix for you guys. House music, bro. That was all 90s right there. But then again, the golden age of music was unfolding. We didn't know that we were going to have the best rap music ever. That the 90s decade was going to have the best music ever. Look at who was dropping smash hits, bro. Are you talking about Mariah dropping smash hits, Boys to Men on the radio, Whitney, Bobby, all dropping smash hits. Selena, remember, we just passed the 30th anniversary of her passing. That's crazy, man. That Teletubby that did that to Selena, I hope they deny her 100 more times. He says, I remember that's right, Kyle. Yeah. So like when you would go to the house parties, you would go, if you know, okay, I don't know what they call them, preppies or whatever. If it's one of those kind of fucking, house parties, then you don't got to go looking all crazy. Go in there dressed like they're dressed, silver tabs, anchor blues, leather jackets, if they leather jackets. Yeah, that's what we would wear with white shirts under the Staffords. Been wearing those forever. And the hush puppies will be on the shoes or maybe some other shoes, right? Um, and not to blow the whole place up because you wanted to enjoy the experience. Because sooner or later the cops are coming anyways, bro. It's just how long could it last? You know what I mean? It was unless it was that kind of party, or if it was a menace to society party, that's different, and that's probably going to end bad, and that's members only. I got stories for days, but we leave those on the members only, exclusively over there for my members. You can hit the join. You go to the main YouTube page. There's a blue join button. Sorry, can't be the blues and Motown oldies. That's right, amiga. Amiga, did you hear about they're having the Chicano Park celebration? I think on the 19th. Um, I saw that on IG, shared a couple times. We're going down. We're gonna be in LA after that. Yeah, my son's birthday. We're gonna celebrate my son's birthday, my other son's birthday in LA around that time. But I heard about that. But I passed through there many times, man. Been on the other side of that border too. I've been on the San Isidro border many, many times. But amiga, I say if they ask me what genre of music, if you only had one to listen to for the rest of your days, it was hard. There's a lot of genres of music, but I said, amiga, I said it has to be oldies. You can't take those away from me. Big 43 ones in the casa, man. Good times and crazy times, man. And everyone has those days. That's why you don't want to go down on the youngsters too hard. Everyone has those days. It was their days. Right now, it's the youngsters' days. It's never no one's place to be like, because look at the cycles. It was always there. But even though when I was their age, the individuals that were older than me and all that, they were a lot more serious, and they really would game you up. A lot of people say my generation dropped the ball by not gaming up the youngsters. That's what a lot of people say. The unks, 40 to 49, we didn't game them up, and they took the baton with it because there was already foundations, but there was like the guidance should have been there. Like, hey, check this out. Get that trade first. Go to school. Get the family. The neighborhood's always going to be there. No one's trying to take it from your heart, but now we're doing the positive for the neighborhood. That's right. She's getting ready for the festival season. That's right, amiga. The festival season is gonna be nice, and we're getting ready to head back out to Mexico again, amiga. I try to bring the wifey when I can. It's always business, but we're getting ready right now to go to Mexico again, amiga. The body shop on her. Oh yeah. And then before that, it was called the Fun House Body Shop, and it seemed like there was a couple like going to Fourth Street, um, between there and Fourth Street, and like Two Face Entertainment Fred, he was always with the flyers, man. They're always passing out flyers because back then it was just CDs and shows, and you didn't have social media like that, bro. If you had to go out there passing out flyers to get people to go to your show. Two Face Fred, man, I told him he was putting in work. I seen Two Face Fred like put out some of the most flyers in the '90s. That's crazy, man. I had him on the podcast. We barely scratched the surface on 831 history. Barely, barely, because he knows that I know a lot of people, and he knows the other people too. The ones that I known more, like I told him, he knows, right? He said the OGs were serious. Yeah, they were serious, but it's that's what they saw. That's how they were taught. Everyone's just passing out the baton. You know what I mean? So you're gonna be the piece of cloth. They say you're not cut from that cloth. Well, the how you are then is a reflection of who gamed you up. So those guys were already gamed up, you know. And then we moved to Soledad Street. When we did, obviously Soledad Street had all the halfway houses, bro. All the halfway houses on Soledad Street in Salinas were right off of Soledad Street. And then all the time you would just see them day one in la calle, with the state pantalones on and the paper bag. And hey, we're looking for him. And here we go. We would go over there. And then we would know, okay, it's going to be a party here for like a week. And the sad thing about it is these dudes would come out like that, and then later on, the dope would get them. Most of them, dope fiends. Most of them, I'm not saying that like, it is what it is. Most of them, dope fiends, but it's crazy because then when they get behind the walls, they make that, okay, boom, they hit like a switch. And now they're back in this mode, boom. But when they get on the calles, it's like the dope is there, and it's like, and they say that's just they make a career out of it. Or say they're institutionalized. They just figure the three hots in a cot, and this is what they know, and this is what's really kind of like any sense of. It's crazy. It's crazy to even know what's going through their head. Last comment, gente. I'm gonna tap back in with the familia. I appreciate you guys. The sunset's gone. Now it's blue hour, and this is gonna happen like another 5 minutes, and then it's a wrap, man. That's right, Bigfoot 831. That's right, cabrón. Shit, that's right, man. He said, I remember. That's right, cabron. Well, a lot of stories are in the members only. They've asked me stories, right? But it's like, bro, it's like, oh, here we got to keep it how we keep it, man, all the time. Working with the youngsters, helping the youngsters out. And that's how we keep it here. But in the members only, yeah, we got the stories over there. All right, gente, I'm going to tap back in with the familia. I appreciate you guys. I'm out. It's Sunday. Let's tackle this week. I'm going to be in motion, and I'll tap in back in with you guys on Wednesday night. We're going to tap in on Wednesday night. We'll be back. I'm out. Remember what I always say? Remember what I always say. Have a beautiful, blessed week, mi linda raza. And in the end, all you got is the memories.